56 laps coming at you from the streets of Chicago. NASCAR is street racing. Bubba Wallace jumping out to an early lead. Hamlin's going to go ahead and get alongside Larson. Battle for the second position as Larson gets loose off of turn one. Wallace checks out with his owner, Denny Hamlin, falling in line in second. Here comes Chastain looking for that fourth position. Side by side with Byron. Seven-time champ Jimmy Johnson in his legacy Toyota, not far behind that position. Battle is on. You can see it's going to get tight through this section. Chastain still side by side with Byron. This is an intense battle. All this is for the fourth position. Chastain gets it for now, but here comes Harvick making a move on Johnson. Most of the field down pit road, including our leader, Bubba Wallace, here on lap 30. Pitting from the lead, and he will get out with the lead. Impressive stop for Wallace and that 2311 crew. No mistakes. It's just simply been the class of the field all day long. He's mired in lap traffic right now, but Wallace has gone wire to wire. Took the lead on lap one, heading into turn number one, and never looked back. Kept the lead through the cycle of green flag pit stops around the halfway point. Wallace trying to go wire to wire out here at the streets of Chicago in order to pick up his first win of the 2023 season. Today, in the streets of Chicago, Bubba Wallace in the number 23 Toyota is going to go ahead and pick up the victory at the streets of Chicago. Bubba Wallace is a winner in the ARN Thunder Series here in Chicago. Dominant performance for Wallace in that 2311 Toyota all day long. Denny Hamlin going to be coming home second. 14 seconds behind our leader. Kyle Larson going to be coming home third with Ross Chastain fourth. William Byron fifth. Kevin Harvick sixth on the racetrack. Jimmy Johnson in his legacy Toyota coming home seventh with Josh Berry eighth. Daniel Suarez ninth. And Kyle Busch in the final points paying position coming home 10th.
Somewhere far away awaits your destiny, but you've been led astray, so pave a brand new way. Yeah, guess who's back? Everybody get down. Guess who's back? Yeah, stand up, stand up. Takes my breath away, it pulls me right back. I can't sit back any longer and wait. Guess who is back? I'll stare in the eyes of death. Guess who is back? With fire in every breath. Guess who is back? This light hiding in my chest. Guess who is back? We'll share this life forever. Guess who is back?
It's the ARN Thunder Series, live from the virtual Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. It's the Southern 500. 127 laps coming at you today from the famed Darlington Raceway for race number 8 of the 2023 ARN Thunder Series. I'm Alan Bailey up in the virtual booth to bring you live coverage of this historic event. Everybody wants to win the Southern 500, but only a select few have ever done it. This is a very tough racetrack. Originally opened back in 1950, it's a 1.366 miles or 2.198 kilometers. Now, a lot has happened since we've last raced. Yes, in case you're unaware, Noah Gragson has been suspended by NASCAR for liking an insensitive social media post. That means he is also out here in the ARN Thunder despite winning a race already this season. John Hunter Nemechek going to be taking over the number 42 Toyota for Legacy Motor Club for the foreseeable future for the remainder of the 2023 schedule, as we await to hear what will happen with that number 42 Toyota for the 2024 season. But that is not the only thing that has happened. Justin Haley going to be taking over the number 51 Ford for Rick Ware Racing, jumping over to the Ford camp a little earlier than expected. Chandler Smith going to be jumping up to the number 31 Chevy for Colleague Racing. But that's not all. The number 88 team of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Junior Motorsports has closed effectively here in the Cup Series, at least for now, due to lack of funding. Where does Josh Berry go? He's on the point board. Well, Josh Berry, we know, is going to be taking over the 4 car next year, so he has jumped over to the number 15 Ford, also for Rick Ware Racing, as he will finish out the season in that number 15 Ford. And we have a big announcement. The number 32, Kurt Busch, is back in the NASCAR Cup Series, driving a third 2311 Toyota here this weekend. We head out to Irwindale Speedway next week, but let's take a look at the point standings as they come into this race. Bubba Wallace takes over as your points leader. Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez, Noah Gragson technically is in right now. So is Tyler Rennick, Ross Chastain, Kevin Harvick, William Byron. On the outside looking in, you can see everybody right there. Riley Herbst and Noah Gragson both on this list, but neither one of them at the moment have Cup rides. So if one sponsor wants to go ahead and pick them up here, we could see them potentially jump back up into the Cup Series. We'll take a look at this points update a little later on, because don't look now, we timed it perfectly for the first time ever here in the ARN Thunder Series. It's going to be the number 45 of Tyler Rennick leading him to the green out here. Make sure you get ready, gearheads, because here we go. Green flag is out in the Southern 500 as something happens with that outside line. Not 100% sure why Larson didn't go, but the number 45 Toyota jumps out to an early lead, and he brings the number 8 of Kyle Busch with him. Tyler Reddick leading over Kyle Busch, Corey LaJoie, Kevin Harvick, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, Kyle Larson back to 7th, Martin Truex Jr., who announced he's back next year in the number 19, up to 8th, with Ross Chastain 9th, and Denny Hamlin 10th on the racetrack at the moment. John Hunter Nemechek in his debut in the number 42 is 11th, with Chris Buescher 12th, Shane Van Gisbergen up to 13th, with Eric Jones 14th, Ryan Blaney 15th, Joey Logano 16th, Jimmy Johnson in his Legacy Toyota is 17th, with Alex Bowman 18th, Michael McDowell 19th, Austin Cindric 20th. Last week's winner, Bubba Wallace, 21st on the racetrack right now. Josh Berry in his number 15 Ford is 22nd, with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 23rd, up to 22nd actually. Kurt Busch 24th on the track, with Ryan Pierce 25th, AJ Allmendinger 26th. 27th, we find Christopher Bell. 28th, Chase Briscoe. 29th, David Gilliland back in the number 38 car next year, we just found out today, with Chase Elliott up to 30th. Justin Haley 31st, with BJ in 32nd. 33rd, Austin Dillon. 34th, Brad Keselowski. Ty Dillon 35th, with Eric Almirola 36th. Harrison Burton 37th. Ty Gibbs 38th, and Chandler Smith struggling in 39th. Right now, the battle for the lead has not gotten a little hot. It's gotten a little cold, I should say. But we take a look right here. The battle for second is definitely on. Kyle Busch has the second position right now, but the number 7 of Corey LaJoie, Spire Motorsports. We found out that LaJoie going to be back in this number 7 car for at least the next 2 years, if not more. This organization started with LaJoie. They have built this organization and this car around him, and finally we're starting to see some fruits of that labor. Surprisingly good run out here at the Southern 500, at least to start with. Running third on the racetrack right now, looking pretty sporty in that number 7 car. John Hunter Nemechek in the number 42, bringing over some of his Toyota sponsors with Safeway and Mobil 1. Now, supposedly this was not a sponsor-base driven decision. Noah Gragson, very fast in this car earlier this season, but was put on suspension by the team for liking a social media post. Whether you agree with it or not, it was insensitive. and essentially would have only lost his ride for maybe a week or two, but NASCAR stepping in and announcing that they have actually suspended him indefinitely. So at the completion of his sensitivity training, we could see Noah Gragson return to the NASCAR Cup Series, but as of this moment, he is looking for a new ride. John Hunter Nemechek actually not doing too bad, running in the top 15, qualified here in the top 15. He's raced in Cup before, but doesn't have a whole lot of experience with this next-gen car. As you can see, he's trying to get the move right there on his Legacy Motor Club Toyota teammate of Eric Jones right in front of him. The 17 car also stepping it up in qualifying. All of this is the battle for the 11th, 12th, and 13th position here, very early on out here at Darlington. But John Hunter Nemechek looking pretty darn impressive in that number 42 Legacy Toyota, as the two Toyotas are attacking that Ford of Chris Buescher right now. RFK very, very sporty in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2023 with a couple of back-to-back victories for Chris Buescher. No victories so far for RFK here in the Air and Thunder Series, but this is race number 8. This is essentially the halfway point of the regular season, and so far we have seen 7 different winners in the first 7 races of the 2023 AR and Thunder Series season, which is pretty darn impressive. As you can see, the 42 getting around his teammate right there, trying to make quick work of the number 17. Basically just said, hey teammate, you can't get around him. Let me give a shot at that real quick. Let me try it. Kurt Busch in a backup car for 2311. That is a third 2311 Toyota in the number 32. Kurt is back. A lot of people speculated him coming back at some point this season. In the NASCAR Cup Series, he's still working on his rehab, still trying to get back into the Cup Series. But here in the AR and Thunder Series, he is back in the number 32 Toyota. We're expecting big things from him. He's right now outside the top 20, still getting his feet wet, still kind of getting used to the car again. Kurt said before this race, his intention was simply to finish this race. He really didn't have top 10, top 5 aspirations. He simply said completing every lap is the goal. He is still recovering and still in his recovery process. He's still not 100% there, but he's 95% the way there. This should get him that extra 5% in the next couple of weeks. And Kurt Busch, in theory, with this point system, could make a playoff run here in the AR and Thunder Series in the second half of the regular season. We'll take you on board with Kyle Busch as he is looking for this position. As you can see, he gets right up to the rear bumper of the 7 of LaJoie as this sun is setting here in beautiful Darlington, South Carolina. How about a little Wraith? Crank it up. And behind him, you can see Kyle Busch starting to let that number 1 car of Ross Chastain reel him in just a little bit. And here comes Denny Hamlin behind that 24 car. But up front, on board with the 8 of Kyle Busch, you can see just how tight things are getting for this 3rd position. Busch once again trying to make that bottom work. Not going to make it happen that time. So delicate with that throttle response. We're rapidly approaching pit stops. That will shake up everything. This is one of the tougher pit roads to get onto. Gets slowed down for it as the apron very slippery here, as you can see. Battle for the lead is on in 1 and 2 here at Darlington. But the number 21 is going to go ahead and be used as a pick on the bottom. That's going to give Rennick a little bit of breathing room. Rennick slowing as he coming to pit road. Here comes our leader. Lap 71, green flag pit stops have begun out here in the Southern 500. Tyler Rennick pitting from the lead here. First one down pit road. Simply put, 4 tires, no changes for this number 45 Toyota. They are bad fast, but they were desperately looking for some fresh tires here. This is a one-stop race here in the Southern 500. The 99, 42, 4, 11, 24, 17, 84, 47, 19, 43, 48, 2, 12, the 22, the 41, the 34, the 23, the 51, all ducking on pit road here on lap 73, just past the halfway point in this Southern 500. Green flag pit stops very much underway. Is anyone on the racetrack still? Doesn't seem like it. Green flag pit stops have concluded out here at Darlington on lap 78. Tyler Rennick holding on to the lead, expanding that lead to 1.6 seconds over Kyle Larson. Kyle Busch up to third. Denny Hamlin fourth on the track right now, with Corey LaJoie holding on to a top 5 at the moment. Daniel Suarez sixth on the track. Shane Van Gisbergen seventh on the track. John Hunter Nemechek up to 8th. Kevin Harvick 9th, with William Byron 10th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 11th. Oh, our leader getting very loose under the under his teammate of all things. Good save right there by the 45. Tyler Rennick leading by 3.2 seconds just past lap 100 out here in Darlington. Battle for the lead is on through 1 and 2. Kyle Busch high side going to go ahead and pass our leader on the high side and clear him. New leader with less than 15 laps to go in the Southern 500. Top 3 cars bumper to bumper to bumper on the track, but the lap cars are all around them, surrounding our 3 front leaders, as Kyle Busch will pull away just a little bit from the second and third place car, but he still has Ty Gibbs right in front of him. Kyle Busch battling with the lapper of Gibbs. Essentially, Kyle's trying to pass his old car and his replacement over at Gibbs. Right now, Larson about 7/10 back, 8/10 back right now, and here comes Busch on the bottom trying to make it work. This has not worked out so well for these leaders. The bottom lane just simply won't go, but Busch is desperate. The 45 on the high side with the lapper trying to make something happen. Team Toyota on the outside. It's going to open the door. New leader in 1 and 2. Rennick retakes the lead with less than 10 to go. Busch falls to second. He's going to have about 6 laps to try to make something happen. Can Busch kind of regroup here and get around the 45? That 8 car is just so much faster right now, but the question is can you get around him? Catching him's one thing, passing him's another. The 5 car has faded. This is a 2-car battle at the moment. Here comes Busch trying to get that bottom line working, and once again, it hasn't happened all race long, but there's nowhere else to put that number 8 Chevy. The high side's the preferred line, but Rennick has that one covered. Busch has to find another way around this 45 car with about 5 laps to go. Here he comes once again. He's got the run on the bottom. He clears him down the back straightaway. New leader. New leader, Kyle Busch, here in the closing laps with less than 5 to go, retakes the lead from Tyler Rennick. White flag presented by Rafe. Kyle Busch, coming into this Southern 500, was running in the top 5, fell back at the start, battled his way back and up through the top 10, up and into the top spot out here at Darlington. Now, through 3 and 4, Kyle Busch won the LA All-Star race. The very next week, he won the Daytona 500. He's going to be the first driver to make it 2 victories in 2023. Kyle Busch wins the Southern 500. Kyle Busch retaking the points lead by getting it done, putting this number 8 Chevy back into victory lane here in the ARN Thunder Series. Impressive run. The lap cars were more of a factor than anybody could have imagined. Kyle Busch gets the victory here, with Kyle Larson finishing second, Tyler Rennick coming home third, William Byron fourth, Daniel Suarez with a top 5, Denny Hamlin 6th on the track, Shane Van Gisbergen 7th, John Hunter Nemechek in his debut in that number 42 Legacy Toyota comes home 8th. Corey LaJoie finishing 9th. Impressive run for him, with Ross Chastain your final points paying position. Want to thank you so much for watching today. It is race number 8 in the books officially. We will see you in Southern California at Irwindale Speedway for the first time for the NASCAR Cup Series and the ARN Thunder Series. For everyone at iRacing ARN, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.